What's up, kids? Let's rock this thing. So, great questions come up all the time for all of us. Oh my gosh, we've all heard this question so much. Basically, should I start my own e-course? What's up with masterminds? Should I do group coaching, individual coaching? I have expertise. I want to share this in an e-course. How do I build an e-course? How do you market an e-course? This goes on and on. High ticket, low ticket. What's the right pricing? So much there, right? We've all had these questions. Let's just sort this out. Now, I'm fixing to give you my experience and what I've seen work over and over and over again. This is not to say that your experience couldn't be better or different or whatever. But let me just kind of break this down for you to show you why e-courses versus doing a live training like a mastermind or your own group coaching, what are the differences there? There's a lot of similarities, but there are definite differences when it comes to how this thing becomes profitable and how long it takes and how much time and effort you have to spend to get either one of those two models really launched. Ultimately, all of this comes down to, what's up, guys? It's so great to see everybody. Ultimately, all of this comes down to just making sure that you're taking your expertise, your skill set. If you want to teach or display your skill set out there, if you're trying to move away from done for you or add on to your done for you service, or you're already a coach consultant and you're trying to like scale this thing, how does it work? How do you actually get profitable really quickly? How does that make sense for you? I've taken a lot of e-courses, as you have probably as well. I've spent money on a lot of masterminds, a lot of one-on-one and group coaching. Here's the models that work and don't work, okay? Ultimately, e-courses work, masterminds work, group coaching works, one-on-one coaching can work. It can all be very profitable for you. But if you're starting from wherever you are today and scaling and growing up, you gotta cover 5 things. I'm gonna walk through the 5 pieces of any of those information share models and explain why some work and some don't work for different situations. You can find yourself in that spot and you can sort it from there or ask questions. I'm right here live. I've got time this morning. Ask questions as we go along. If you're watching the replay, ask questions in the comments and we'll get back to you. It's super straightforward. Okay, first up, in my experience, I launched 5 e-courses, spent over $100,000 in ad spend, building funnels, all that kind of thing, trying to kind of look and feel like other people that I liked in the market that were sharing something similar to me, like funnel hacking type concept. It just simply didn't work. It's not to say that people can't do funnel hacking and work. Obviously, there's tons of examples of that, but it's kind of the 1 in a million or 1 in 100,000 people who really strike gold on that. It's not as easy to think. People are attracted to you. They're attracted to me. They're attracted to other coaches, experts, consultants because of lots of human interaction reasons, not just because the structure of a funnel is built or looks a certain way, colors, copy, all that kind of stuff. There's more to it than that. So let's walk through the 5 main things that e-courses, masterminds, information selling includes and talk about the differences. First up, in every sequence you go through, market research is important. You have to do market research, okay? That is so, so important. People kind of shy away from market research because I don't think they want to do it. I get it. It's a pain. I hate doing it too. But you got to do market research. So if you're going to do an e-course or you're going to do a mastermind, let's define those two real quick. E-course is where you like create all the content. You've got it deliverable somewhere. People can watch your recordings. They can download your templates. They can do the stuff along with you while watching you on a screen, right? It's a replay option. And you're giving them very specific instruction for whatever expertise you have, helping them to do that, right? Cool. Now, if you do that, or you do a mastermind, which is where you're like doing the content with them, you're walking them through the processes, often live on a screen or live face-to-face, templates and everything, all the same information there. You're just along for the ride with the people you're leading in a smaller group, typically a 10 to 20, maybe 30 people at a time, but you're right there with them. That's more of a mastermind, all right? A lot more of your time involved with each of those people, okay? I get it. E-courses are the holy grail, right? It's if we feel like we can turn that thing on and let it run. It's making money while we sleep. We've heard it all. Okay. I have e-courses. There's nothing wrong with that. There's just a right and wrong way to go about this thing that makes sense from a profitability standpoint. You got to do market research. Either way you're going, you got to understand what your market wants, what problems they have, how you can solve them, right? We've all heard that before. Market research in a vacuum is really, really hard, okay? Meaning if you're going out there hanging out in other people's communities, Facebook groups, your own Facebook group on LinkedIn, on Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse, wherever you hang out, you're getting a vision into what the market you want to serve is needing and maybe what you could provide to solve that problem. That's really cool. Here's the thing. As you begin delivering that solution, you learn a lot from it. And you actually get really good really quick when you're able to do that in a live setting. So I'm doing market research, I'm selling people into that process, and I'm teaching them, right? That's a mastermind model. When you're doing the e-course model, you're doing your market research, then you're going and you're building something, and then you're offering it back to the market to see if they want it. They may or may not want that. It might strike, it might not. Maybe the first few weeks really help, and then the next 3 weeks don't help in what you're teaching. It's hard to do that in a vacuum. It's very failure prone, and it actually takes a lot longer. So in this one space, step one, market research, I'm absolutely a fan of teaching your own mastermind group coaching program, one-on-one consulting even. I know it's very inefficient, but even that allows you to get in front of a market and start making something happen and see how it goes. And you will learn what should be in an e-course. You'll actually learn how to market it. Okay. That's market research. Step two, in anything we do as business owners, we market research and then we do market attraction. Once we get the research done, step one, we know what problems they have and solutions to offer. Then we start doing market attraction. We get people in our audience so we can talk to them about what they want to know about. That's really important. That market attraction piece, if you're doing an e-course, often happens in the form of a funnel or ads or podcast or webinars or something like that that's more automated. Okay. That does allow you to reach a lot of people at once. For instance, Facebook ads or Google ads, pitching them into a webinar, onto a landing page, or a series of emails or videos that you send them, whatever your model is. You can do that very, very strongly at scale. But you got to be dialed in before you start spending those dollars on ads. You got to be dialed in before any legit podcaster or person who owns a stage will allow you to pitch on their stage. If that's a digital stage or a real stage, and then they're going to want to slice the action, but they're not going to entertain talking to you unless you got a proven offer that they know will start converting. That's really, really important. It's really important. And so getting this done in a vacuum, again, this is a big fan. I've been a big fan of doing this live, having a mastermind or a group coaching program, or even one-on-one consulting. Here's the deal. One-on-one consulting is really great, but it doesn't let you scale. Okay. Putting people into a group and teaching them and coaching them together in the form of a group coaching program or a mastermind. They're very similar, some nuances, but let's just call it masterminds for now. That right there is allowing you to scale and get 10 people or 20 people involved, scale your revenue, and give you an opportunity to teach more people and hear more from the audience than doing one-on-one. But this market attraction piece, if you're doing that with a group coaching or mastermind process, it allows you to do that in a space where you're getting real feedback, you're attracting, you're learning, you're actually getting more, number one, more market research done while you're doing point number two, market attraction in real time with real people, not just static ads. Why are they not clicking on my ads? Why did they get to this point in my funnel but not go to the next point? It's a very expensive way to learn that. It's way faster to just do this organically. And in a couple of weeks, you have it ironed out versus literally months and thousands of dollars if you're going through an automated process, e-course style. Number three, offer creation, right? So market research is number one, and you think you know what the offer should be. So great, you start attracting people, number two. If you're doing this organically, it really gets smooth really quick. And then you're talking about the research you learned, attracting those people. You're going to learn more research as you're doing attraction, and the problem set that they have is going to become more and more clear for you. Then you start creating an offer. You get that offer going, and that offer is what's going to really start saying, hey, does this meet your needs? If I was going to build this, would it meet your needs? You can't do that in an ad set as easily as you can face-to-face, like in a Facebook group or in a LinkedIn community or on Instagram or Clubhouse or whatever else you want to use. It's easier to do that when you're live in your community. Yes, you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to take work, Chris. You bet. But if you want to build a 7-8 figure business, 100, 200, $500,000 months, if you want a business, you got to do the work, folks. I wish there was a get rich quick scheme here, but there's just not. You got to get in there and do real market research, real market attraction, and start creating real offers and pinging them against your market to just check in and say, hey, I'm hearing you. I did my research. You guys are now here hanging out with me. We're talking about this stuff. If I can create a solution that solves this problem for you, would you be interested? If it's $1, if it's $100,000, whatever the price is, if it's right, would you be interested? Get the real feedback. And then those who say, yeah, I would be, you start selling. That's point number 4. Okay. Those 4 points, market research, market attraction, offer creation, and selling, all happen if you're in e-course world, like I used to be. I still have e-courses, but I'm saying before I started my own mastermind or high ticket coaching business with groups, I was just focused on building e-courses with my expertise. I was doing all those things in a vacuum, and I was spending a lot of money every couple of weeks to try new market research, new market attraction on ads, seeing if the offer I just created and reiterated would stick, and seeing if they would click the buy now button and put their credit card info in there, right? Guys, I went 5 e-courses, $100,000 in ad spend alone, and I sold one e-course. The dude who bought it, can't remember his name. The dude who bought it never even logged in. Complete and utter failure. And failures aren't bad to me. I like failure, but you got to learn from it. I learned, okay? Finally, I started asking other people who had successful e-courses, like, okay, for real, did you take somebody's e-course and get successful? Did you funnel hack somebody? And like, for real, how did it work? These people were in another high ticket mastermind that I was a student of. And they're like, oh, dude, you got to have a mastermind first. Oh my gosh. I was like, why don't people say that up front? I don't know. Funnel hacking is easier. It seems like a shortcut. I don't know. You gotta have a real, organic, authentic group, market research, market attraction, create an offer, and sell into a small group. You can scale that, you get paid well, and it works. And while you're doing that, you're gonna get to point number 5, and you're all of a sudden gonna be really bringing transformation delivery. All right. Transformation delivery. You got to deliver your information, some sort of a product line, right? An e-course is recordings typically of your expertise, templates, tutorials, worksheets, all the stuff they need to learn from you and take the steps to transform whatever you're offering, okay? Doing that in a group live format where you got 10 or 20 people there in front of you. Number 1, you can charge more because you're in a group with them. It's not just an e-course. You're going to really be there helping them take action on what you're teaching, and they're going to be able to really make a difference. They're going to be able to connect your expertise with their real life situation, not being like, well, I get the concept, but I don't know how it fits for me. If you're there with them, not an e-course, you get real transformation. While you're delivering your expertise, you're recording it. You record what's going on. When I first started my first mastermind, I just simply recorded everything. And I was able to turn that into an e-course. And then as we went back through and taught more and more sessions and more seasons and more years, it got better and better and better and better. But literally from week 2 of my own mastermind, my first time, I was reselling week 1 recordings in an e-course format and dripping it week by week by week. So I was always recording 1 week ahead of people who were buying the e-course that didn't want to be in the group. All of a sudden, by the time I got to real delivery, I had figured out market research. This took like a month or 2. Market research. Then I had market attraction. Then I was doing an offer that people were wanting and buying in, and they were buying my offer. I was selling, they were buying my higher ticket offer. And so I knew that I had a bead on a market. I knew that I could sell them, I could do the research, I could attract, I could offer, and I could sell a higher ticket offer, like $5,000 or $10,000. And then absolutely, if I have that dialed in, I know I can downsell a $1,500 or $2,000 or $2,500 course of the same material because I know my market. I've researched them. I've done the attraction. I've done the creation of the offer, and I know how to sell at the higher level, which means I can definitely sell at the lower level. So the transformation actually gave me a chance to record and get paid while I was doing every bit of that. All of that you need to get paid for. And really, when you start getting into real deal content creation, like to produce an e-course, you should be getting paid to do that. It's a lot of work. And if you go through iterations of creating your expertise and building slides, again, I did it 5 times over 5 years, way too much time and money spent. You know, the $100,000 I spent on ads during that 5-year period is nothing compared to the opportunity cost of me wasting me and my team's time so many hours of me dumping my expertise out in outlines and slides that would never sell. Doing that in a vacuum is just, it's a vacuum. It's floating around in space with nothing to do. It's just a lot of space between planets up there in space. It's the same way with building your own e-course. There's a lot of space between clients or prospects. Anchor in, find a planet, and then start working on that planet. Start delivering content once you're getting paid. So that is the simple, straight up, just right down the middle truth of e-courses or masterminds, which is the fastest way to profitability. Absolutely, these 5 steps are fastest and cleanest and produce real income quickly while you're actually doing the work. You got to do market research. You got to start attracting people once you do some research. You got to start building offers, and you got to start selling. And those 4 things don't happen really cleanly and quickly or efficiently in a vacuum. Once you start selling, you do your first 3 steps: the research, the attraction, and the offer creation. Then you try to sell that offer. But you're selling an offer at that point to people who've already had you reach out to them for research. And they're already in your community because you've attracted them. And they already know you're working on an offer. There's nothing invisible going on. There's no vacuum at all here. So when you start selling that offer, it makes sense to them. There's already a relationship built. And all of a sudden, voila, you're getting paid. You have 5 people in a mastermind at $5,000. Let's say you go super cheap, $5,000. If you're live for anybody, like in a real teaching setting where they're leaning in on you and you're really helping them one-on-one or in a group setting, you should be charging at least $5,000, and that's super low. At least $5,000. E-courses can be $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. But if you're live, at least $5,000. Let's say you just sell 5 of the people you've attracted with your new offer into your first mastermind group. That's $25,000. You're getting paid $25,000 to go through your 6 or 12 week material, whatever you think up. Getting paid $25,000 to build an e-course. Oh my gosh. And to transform 5 people's lives at the same time. Like it's golden. It's perfect. Everybody wins. And you actually then create an evergreen e-course that can be delivered and will sell. And you're going to know, based on your sales and market attraction and offer, you're going to know exactly what needs to be on your ads, what needs to be on your landing page, what needs to be in the whole conversion process, your emails. It all shows up because you've really had real interaction with real people in research, in attraction, in offer creation, and in selling. And you're getting paid to do every bit of it. That is why, folks, that is why I have masterminds of my own. That is why my e-courses sell now, is because I did it this way, finally learned the right way around it. If you take anything away from today's content, please, please, please don't go creating e-courses in vacuums, okay? It's just a long, disappointing trail. Go out there and do real market research, real attraction. Once you get a little research going on, start creating real offers and start selling, and do that all right in front of and right with your audience, okay? If you have 2 people in your audience or 20,000 people in your audience, it's all the same. Just get out there and do the work to get the results. If you don't know how to do market research the right way, if you don't know how to quickly do market attraction organically and not paying for it, if you don't know how to figure out the offer, if you don't know how to sell that offer, lean in, ask questions, put them right here in the comments in this video. That's why we produce this content. Ask your questions, or if you're embarrassed to ask your questions from everybody else, I get it, because none of us want to admit we don't know how to sell. It's okay. Be real here. This is a real community. If you wanted to shoot me a private message, feel free. Chris Williams HQ is the handle for all of our social media platforms. Ask a question. We will get you an answer. We have tons of content already recorded, tons of stuff to give you answers. Or if we need to jump on a call and sort something out, we can do that. Bottom line is, you can do this. Do it the right way. Get the processes the right way. Actually get paid to make sure that you're going to build the right thing. Get paid while you're building it. I know, crazy concept, right? Welcome to entrepreneurship. We're here to get paid. We're here to do great things for our clients. And you can do every freaking bit of that. It's so great to be able to do all that together. All right. That's it for me. Do work, get results, ask your questions. We're here for you.